Hi, this is Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Before we begin today's video, I just want to interject something. Yesterday, I posted my teases, as I always do, on various Facebook pages for the video, and of course on the Fed Prospects Hockey League FHL page. Um, I said, Elmira makes a big Jurich size splash in reference to Tyler Jurich being signed as the head coach. So I get a comment. Um, quote, a little incentive, don't you think? I think they meant insensitive. What if that was your son or daughter and they were big boned and people called them fat?
Something is wrong with you people. What the hell has this world come to?
Okay, so now we got that out of the way. I just wanted to conclude that little segment by saying um, I don't play those games. So don't go there. Okay, to clarify for those of us who have a little bit more intelligence, yes, I know I'm being a little harsh, but I think with good reason. Um, the big splash, of course, George is a big name in the league. The fact that he has appeared in Elmira, that's a big thing. That's going to have a very big impact on Elmira and upon the league, I believe. But anyway, all right, so today, getting on to the regular point of today's video, we're going to be talking about my wish list. Just things that I would like to see in that happens in the Fed this year, or in the next couple of years. So, all right. But before we do that, I do want to mention, yes, there was one little bit of news. Adam Wisco played goaltender for Watertown for a few games this year. He apparently is going to be playing for Croatian team KHL Sirik, I believe it is. Um, that's his plans for this next year. So good luck to Adam. Hope everything works out there. All right, so I've got a long wish list. This isn't like Genie only 3 wishes. Um, just some things that I think would benefit the league or make the league better. And so I just thought I'd have a little fun, put some things together, and yeah, maybe some of this stuff can be things that the league considers. I don't know, quite honestly, who besides Sarge watches these videos. I know Sarge does, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And again, you have been a tremendous help with helping me to accumulate information and whatnot. So, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna break things down. Some things we'll mention today. Some things we'll mention tomorrow. Which actually I'm gonna end up pre-recording today and then posting tomorrow. But I kind of had 4 different areas in which I would like to see certain things happen. First, on ice. We're going to be talking about that today. Second, with officiating. Third, with the league website. And then fourth, with actions by the league itself, administratively. So, all right. So, some of these are just cute things. Other things, yeah. So, first thing, I would love to see Tyler Jurich establish the 300 goals club. Of course, he stands at 299. Now, the plan, I talked with Tyler a little bit yesterday, and he said right now he doesn't intend on playing. However, his quote was, "We'll see what they want me to do." So he's open to the possibility if the team management says, hey, Tyler, we really could use you out in the ice. Sounds like he's open to it. I know his focus is with coaching the team, and that's great. But anyway, that's where he stands. So I would love to see him get that 300th goal. Um, I think that would be awesome. That would be a big publicity shot for the league. Another thing I'd love to see, and I think we will see this year, Dalton J getting his 500th career point, which that would make him the third person in FPHL history behind Ahmed Mahfouz and Tyler Jurich to get 500 points. And he's only 29 points away. Um, and he's third in goals all time, so he's got 225 on the goal tally. I'd also like to see him get 250 goals by the end of the year. But anyway, I think that would really be great. That's a great headline catcher. 500th point career, 300th goal career. That'd be awesome. All right, I would like to see at least two teams this year reach the 100,000 mark in attendance. Now, Binghamton did last year, and Columbus was only, I believe, 1,800 under. I think they were at 98.2. So there are four teams. I figured it out. If you base things on a 28 game home schedule, 56 games per year, there are four teams that could easily top 100,000. Binghamton, Columbus, Baton Rouge, and Mississippi. I think there's some marketing work that needs to be done in the latter two in order to draw in that many fans, but you never know. Obviously, the expansion, the exhibition game that was played this last year in Baton Rouge, they sold out, so it's possible. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see either Baton Rouge or Virginia, one of the two teams at least, make the playoffs this year. I think that would be a great success story. Of course, we've got a 12-team league. 8 will make the playoffs. And on that note, that goes to the next thing I'd like to see. I'd like to see the playoff format changed. Now, this last year we had top 4 Continental Division, top 4 Empire Division made the playoffs. You looked at the standings. Mississippi had a better record than Elmira did. And I think it would make for more interesting playoff matchups if you just go to a 1-8 seeding. Now, with 12 teams this year, the top 2 teams in each division would be guaranteed of making the playoffs. But, if the 6th place team in, say, the Continental Division is better than the 3rd place team in the Empire Division, I think they should get the right to play in the playoffs. And then you would just do a crossover. Like 6 would play, Continental 6 would play Empire 1, and Continental 5 would play Empire 2. See what I'm saying? The AHL did this for a number of years, and it worked very well, especially for the Binghamton Senators, who were the 8th place team overall, but 5th in their division. Now, if you just went with the divisional alignment, they wouldn't have even made the playoffs. And then they ended up winning the Calder Cup, so having a great playoff run. And I'd like to see that opportunity being given to teams that perform better than others. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd also love to see Delaware, New Jersey, whatever they're going to be called, at least compete for a playoff spot. I know it's bothered Don Kiernan that Delaware has been as bad as they have been as far as their on-ice record. I know he would like to see a little bit more better of a compete level, and we saw that at the end of the year. Delaware started to get things together, and the last 2 years actually. The last 2 years, Delaware was just dreadful from beginning of October to like mid March. And then somehow, some way, they kind of started figuring things out, and they became at least a 500 team for the rest of the season, both years. But it shouldn't take that long for a team to kind of figure things out. So I'd like to see better compete level there. I'd also like to see the playoffs expanded to first round is a best of three, as it's been. But then the next two rounds are a best of five. Obviously, with the finals last year, this last year, the way they turned out, yeah, a best of five was the way to go. I think it was pretty much proven. And then the question is, well, then you expand things so far into May. Well, then compress the regular season down. You have your 56 game schedule, but don't just have games on Friday and Saturday. I know those are the best days and the biggest draws, but have at least 2 games per week on Wednesday or Thursday or Sunday. If you did that every week for the entire year, I think things would even out, and you'd probably be able to get the season done by the first weekend in April. Then you go in the playoffs, and you can have your expanded playoffs. I'd like to see that. Okay, officiating. Let's nix the ridiculous abuse of officials penalty. All right. Back in my day, back in the 80s, the 90s, you didn't have all that ridiculous stuff. It was simply unsportsmanlike conduct. That's all you need to say. That's really all that needs to be addressed. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Player continued to give the referee a hard time. 10-minute misconduct. If you have to, game misconduct, but you don't need to quantify it by saying, "Oh, abuse of officials because you said a bad word." And let's also limit the use of this as well. The referees need to grow a thicker skin. Yes, Paul Jean, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I've been very harsh and very critical about Paul Jean on this podcast. I will continue to do so until I see change. All right, so specification about how replay is going to be used. I've talked about implementing replay. Well, exactly in what capacity? Or is it going to be as extensive as the NHL, where you're not just looking at goal calls, but you're also looking at the severity of penalties? You're looking for offsides or missed offsides. Let's get some clarification on that. There's got to be a change in the injured player rule. Go back to last year, Binghamton versus Watertown. Curtis Mosley, dressed for a game, hit Ivashkin from behind unintentionally, but hurt him very badly, and play continued for 15 seconds while Ivashkin was in definite distress because Binghamton hadn't touched the puck. Okay, it's got to be the same thing for a goalie. The second the goalie's mask comes off, play stops, and rightfully so. It should be that way too for obviously injured players in distress. And I think there also has to be greater accountability and transparency with the officials. Whether it's the other members of the league, the other administrative members get more involved with, hey, let's review this, let's rethink this. It needs to happen. Anyway, so that's what I've got for today. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the league and the website. All right, so hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. And remember, we'll be here tomorrow with another video, even though it's the off season. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fad League Flash. Thank you so much for watching and for your support.